Hey there, you gorgeous person. Ha, changed up my intro there. Hi, gorgeous. Hope you're doing great. It's so nice to see you again. Thank you so much to everyone, by the way, who sent well wishes to me. The last video I did a week ago was one where I wasn't feeling too great and I had a little bit of a cold, and that's all it was. A lot of people were really concerned, and I appreciate your concern, but it was nothing. There was a nurse in the comments and several other people too who recommended vitamins D, C, zinc, and all that stuff. I did all that, and I have to tell you, it was gone within 24 hours. So, whew, it was such a relief because, yeah, it was pretty miserable. I do not like colds. I don't know anybody who does. Anyway, so I'm great now, and last week was everything that could have gone wrong did. It was a very challenging week last week. So, anyway, I'm back now. Everything's great, and hopefully I will have 3 videos for you this week to help make up for my absence. So it's so nice to see you again. Today we are taking a trip down memory lane. I'm going to be sharing some old makeup products with you. Some of these you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I haven't thought of that in so long. I wanted to do this with high-end products I haven't picked up in forever, and let's relive some of these. Just dried my hair, so I don't want any crinks in it. Hopefully this will suffice in getting my hair out of my face. So I'm going to use an eyeshadow primer here today that I've never used before. And this is a little sample from Anastasia. It's their eyeshadow primer. We'll see. Oh, it's very thick. Oh my gosh. It's like paint. Goodness gracious. Do you see? Oh my gosh. That's like, yeah. Oh wow. I did not need that much. I'm like wiping it off of my eye onto a paper towel. Ugh. Did do a great job of canceling out all of my veins and creating, golly, my eyes look so white in the viewfinder. I'll go ahead and apply moisturizer. I'm using one today from Grown Alchemist. This is their Hydro Repair Day Cream. Love this scent. It's got a floral scent to it, but it's really light. Okay, the first product I'm pulling out here is one. If you've been around a while, you're going to be like, oh, I haven't thought of that in so long. The LORAC Mega PRO palette. This is the 3rd one. Do you remember this one? This is one I never really used that much. I used the 1st one, the 2nd one, the 4th one. But this is one that has pretty much just sat in my drawer and I've done nothing with it. I'm thinking the first shade I want to take from this palette is the one called Bark. It's this deep brown over here. And I'm going to apply that directly into the crease. The brush that I'm using, by the way, is from Crown. This is their C511 brush for those who are interested. It blew my hair out today. I haven't done it in so long, it was kind of weird. Like I've been wearing it curly so much because it's just easier. But my hair gets so tangled when I wear it curly, and I'm not sure how to avoid that. And if you have a tip, my curly girl friends out there, curly guy friends, if you have tips for keeping your hair from getting tangled when it is curly, let me know, because my gosh, it's like I spend more time detangling my hair when I wear it curly, like doing it in the shower, than when I just blow it out, which is usually why I've blown it out in the past. I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's why I used to just wear my hair straight all the time, because it was easier. When it came down to washing it, at least. I'm going to take a little bit of a lighter color next, and I think I'm going to go with the one called Toffee, which is this light peach right there. A very small amount, and I'm going to use that to blend the edges out of that deeper brown. I might do some back and forth here. I'm going to try to show you everything I'm doing, because I know that when I edit things down, it's kind of like, oh, what'd you do? So I try to leave as much in as I can, but at the same time, I don't want to bore anybody, you know? I blended out the edges of that, and then I'm going in, I just got a battery warning here. I'm going in with my blending brush, and I'm going to buff the edges of that orange shade. I'm gonna have to go change my battery. At least this brush is soft. I can't even tell you how many scratchy brushes I went through when I was teaching myself how to blend, and I can tell you that scratchy brushes make the blending process even more frustrating and so uncomfortable, because it gets to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, it hurts so bad, I don't want to continue. And you just stop. You give up. And you're like, I don't care how bad it looks, it hurts too much to keep going. The MAC 217 was like that. For some reason, those brushes are so scratchy. I know some people really, really love them, but every one of them, and I think I have 3, every one that I have has been horribly scratchy. Oh my gosh, when I first started out makeup, I thought MAC was the end-all be-all to everything. It was like my holy grail, and then I ventured out, started trying other things, and I was like, MAC who? I'm going back with more of that bark shade, and I want to add a little bit more depth, but not much, so I'm not really taking much here, and I'm sweeping that back into the crease. So I'm really just building up the crease right now. I am going to take the shade called Hickory, which is a little bit of a, more of a purple looking brown compared to the bark shade that I took in the beginning. And I'm going to use that on a MAC 239 brush, and I'll apply it to the outer third of the lid. And I think I want to try that mist shade, and it's this gray blue. It's kind of blue, kind of gray, but it's matte. Right there. I'm debating on if I just want to do this on the middle of the lid. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay, so I'll apply it on the middle of the lid over here. And then what I'll do is go back with the same shade I used on the outer third and fill in the inner third with that. For the brows, I'm going back with Urban Decay's Brow Blade. This is the one in Ginger Snap. And what I liked about this one when I first tried it was that it's got the micro ink. Is that what they're calling it? The ink. The ink on one side and then the regular brow pencil on the other side. So I usually will take the ink side and do very thin brow-like hairs on the inner corner. And not only is it a great color match, but it's excellent, excellent, excellent. But I haven't used it in a little while. That's what it looks like with just the ink pen. And then I go back with the brow pencil and fill in the rest. And then I'll take a spoolie and use that to blend any excess. And I don't like to have a real heavy amount of product on my brows. And that's why I do a lot of blending afterwards, is I like to thin it out so it looks a little more natural. I took a pause to apply lashes, and these are the style Positivity from my lash line. If you are interested, I'll have them listed and linked for you below in the description box. So for my, let's see, what are we using next? Under eye area, I'm going to go with an old favorite, the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin, what is this called? Skin Enhancer. The shade that I'm using is XOXO. This is a amazing concealer. Will not budge, will not move. You don't need much. That will do my entire under eye area because it's so pigmented. You remember the Anastasia primer I used in the beginning? Yeah. That's the consistency of this stuff. And it does not crease. It does an amazing job of covering everything. Look at that. I love it. 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 And it's excellent for those who have mature eyes. I will tell you that because I used one on my mom when she was here and it looked utterly astounding. It was gorgeous. And that's what I'm going to use on her also when I do her makeup for my sister's wedding in November, because it was utterly beautiful on her. And you can see what I mean. I mean, it looks amazing. And you don't need much. I mean, it's like one of those products that you'll never ever go through the whole thing. You will throw it out before you ever use it up because you don't need much. For the rest of my face, I'm pulling out this old favorite, and I'm going to butcher the name of it, but it's from a company called Lumine, I believe. That's the name of it. And this is basically just like a tinted moisturizer. It's absolutely beautiful on the skin. It's very skin-like. and it has a moisturizer in it. You can feel the hydration when you apply it onto your skin. It's, oh, if there's one product that you buy for your face, you would love this stuff. Now for setting my face, I'm using this powder. I haven't used this in so long. It's from Chantecaille, and this is their loose powder in the shade Light. Great powder, expensive. Whew. It was one that I received as part of a sponsorship, praise the Lord. Would I buy it? I mean, sure, I would buy it, you know, but not right now. Maybe when I get my third child out of diapers, you know, but I digress. No, seriously. It's a great powder, but I mean, if you can justify the expense of it, it's wonderful. If not, there are drugstore powders that are just as good. For contour, I'm using the Natasha Denona Contouring Sculpting Powder. Shade that I'm using here is number 1 Light. I haven't used this one in a while either. I love it, love it, love it, love it. It is very, for lack of a better word, pigmented. It really, I mean, you don't need much of it because it's so intense. But it's a great cool toned shade that does a beautiful job of sculpting the face. And see, I didn't apply much there, and that looks beautiful just like that. For my blush, I'm going with a really old favorite. This is a MAC blush, and this is the shade Stay By Me. What I love about this is a very neutral pink, so light on the skin, but it provides like a very natural flush of color. Isn't that just so pretty? It's like I've been out in the snow and my cheeks are a little red, a little pink, but you know, it's pretty. I am going to go back with a little bit of, I'm going to use the shade called Walnut from the LORAC palette, and I want to do a little bit of contour on my lower lash line, not much, but just a little bit to make my eyes stand out more. I'm not going to be adding any mascara under my eyes, so this is just to enhance that lower lash line a little bit. And to complete this whole look, I'm going with a really old lipstick favorite, but I love this because it's such a beautiful color, and this is Clinique's Beige Pop. Beautiful nude pink, and I remember it's one that I wore a lot when I first discovered it because it's like my lip color but better. You see, you can barely see it on my lips. It blends right in, but that's why I love it. I will have every product I used in today's video listed for you below in the description box. Whether or not they will be linked, I don't know, because some of them may not be available anymore. But if you have any of these, or if you have discovered any of your own old favorites from the back of the drawer most recently, feel free to share yours below too. I mean, we could do a whole series on nothing but this because there's so many eyeshadow palettes, especially, that I just have floating around that I haven't used in so long. But anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time to watch. I look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday and then on Friday, and I hope that you have a beautifully blessed week ahead. See you again soon.